Hello, it's Sonia here with the Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be working on a blanket square pattern, or you could just use it as a washcloth. I mean, you could do whatever you want with this, or a wall hanging, would however you would want to use it. But I'm going to call it a blanket square. And we are going to be using some stitches of the week. So I said once we got to 100 stitches, I would start using some of them to make some squares. And so now we're going to do that. So we will be using, what I'm going to be using for all my squares, you can certainly use different hook size if you would prefer, and different yarn if you would prefer, but I will be using my eye hook or 5.5 millimeter and number 4 worsted weight yarn. But if you would rather have smaller squares and have, you can use decate weight yarn, you can use fingering weight, sport, whatever you want. I just have so much number 4 yarn that's why I'm picking this. So hopefully we'll make enough squares, and I want to have all different types of squares, and then we can put them together to make a blanket. Alright, so to make this particular square, what we're going to do is we are going to chain 31. Okay, so I have 31 chains here. And this square, we will be using 2 different stitches of the week. It's going to be the cross single crochet and the herringbone half double crochet that we're going to be using for this particular one. Alright, so to get started for row 1, we're just going to work a single crochet row, and I will be working in the back bump of my chain. So right there is my back bump, and I'm going to single crochet in the second chain from my hook, and I'm just going to single crochet all the way across. So as I said before, I was going to stop at 100 stitches of the week, and if you're not sure what I'm talking about, I had this series called the Crochet Stitch of the Week, and every Wednesday I would put a new stitch up or stitch pattern, and I decided to just cap it off at 100 because I wanted to do some other things. And but I thought, I want to utilize all those stitches of the week and just make some patterns out of them. So I thought blanket squares would be fun, and so that's what we're doing. Okay, so here is my row 1. I have 30 single crochet here. And I can put a link up for the playlist for the stitches or crochet stitch of the week if you're curious. And I also will put the links up of these 2 particular stitches if you wanted to have a more in-depth look at that. So again, we're going to be doing the herringbone half double crochet and the cross single crochet. Very easy. So this is going to be a really easy beginner square. And so what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and turn our work for row 2, and this one is going to be actually reversible. Some of them probably will not be. This is the first one, so this is kind of the prototype here. We're going to go from here. So in our first stitch, we're going to work a single crochet, so just chaining 1, turning, and single crochet in that same stitch, and I'm going to single crochet in the next one. And then in my next stitch, or we're going to actually skip our next stitch, and we're going to work a single crochet in the next one. So now we're going to be getting into the crossed single crochet. So I've worked a single crochet. Now I'm going to go back and just single crochet in the one we skipped. So very simple, and we're going to do that again. So I'm going to skip the next stitch and single crochet in the next, and go back and single crochet in the one that we skipped. So super easy. Okay, so now we're going to work the herringbone half double crochet. So to do that, we're going to do 6 of them. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to insert our hook in the next stitch, just like we were working a regular half double crochet, pulling up a loop. So what we're going to do, it's a half double crochet but with a twist. We're going to pull through that second loop on our hook, and now we just have 2 loops, and it creates like a little pearl there, and we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. And there's our first herringbone half double crochet. We're going to work 5 more, so yarning over, inserting our hook in that stitch, pulling up a loop, you pull through that middle guy, and then yarn over, pull through. the last two. So I'm just going to keep going. And there we go. We have our 6 herringbone half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to work 6 cross single crochets. So we're going to skip the next one, single crochet in the next. Oops. Yep, there we go. Go back into the one we skipped and work at single crochet. So very simple, but just gives it a nice neat textured look. We're skipping the next stitch, single crocheting in the next, go back in the one we skipped. And skip the next stitch and go into the one we skipped and then go back in the one we skipped. Getting ahead of myself there. So we have 6 stitches there, and now we're going to work 6 herringbone half double crochets. Okay, so we have our 6 stitches, and then we're going to work 4 cross single crochets. So there's first, go back into the one we skipped, so 2, skip the next one, go into the next one, work that single crochet, and then go back in the one we skipped. So we have our 4 stitches, and then our last 2 are just regular single crochet stitches. And then row 2 will be complete there. All right, so let's get ready for row 3 here. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work. So row 3 is going to be a repeat of row 2, and you're going to be repeating that. And I'm not sure how many rows yet, I'll let you know for our square. So this is a very simple 1 row repeat for this particular square. And then our last row, we will just be working a single crochet, and then we're going to work a border around the whole square, because if we're going to want to attach it, I just find it easier when you have a simple border. And I'm just going to do a basic single crochet border around the square. Alright, so I am almost to the end of my row 25 here. So now I'm at my last stitch. So we are going to actually begin round 1 for our edging, because we want to work an edging around so that we can either stitch it together, or if you just want to use it as a washcloth, whatever you want to use it for. So we are going to begin round 1 for the edging. So we're done working in rows. So what you want to do in this stitch here is we are going to pop in a stitch marker. So there we go, we have our stitch marker, and now we're going to begin round 1. So in this last stitch, but technically the first stitch of round 1, we're going to pop in 3 single crochet. This is going to create the first corner. So we have our 3 single crochet, and now we're going to work down the ends of the rows of our square here, or more like a rectangle block. Let's call it a block. So what you want to do is work 22 single crochet evenly down the side. So these are the ends of the rows that we had worked. So I'm going to work my 22 and I will meet you back. Okay, so I have my 22 single crochet that I worked. So now we are going to be working on the other side. This is the ends of row 1 that we started with, and we worked in the back bump. So as you can see, that it looks pretty similar, and that's why we did that. Okay, so this stitch here, we're going to create our second corner. We are working 3 single crochet in that first stitch at the ends of row 1. So 1, 2, and 3. So we've created our second corner. Now we're just going to single crochet across. And you're going to single crochet all the way across until you get to your last stitch here of the ends of row 1, and you're going to work 3 single crochet in that last one to create your third corner, and then you're going to work 22 single crochet going up the side of the other ends of the rows, and you're going to come to this next stitch here. You're going to create your last corner. You're going to work 4 single crochet, and then you're going to single crochet across to your last stitch. So that's why we marked that stitch, because it can be kind of confusing as to, since this is a continuous round, we didn't join it. So it's just a little helpful hint there for you, so you know where you are in the pattern. So I'm going to go do that, and then I will meet you back. Okay, I finished up my round 1, and my last stitch I placed my stitch marker to help me keep track. So let's begin round 2. So round 2, we are going to single crochet in the next stitch, and then we are at our middle stitch of our corner here. So remember, we put the 3 single crochet there, so this is the second stitch of that 3 single crochet. And in that second stitch we're going to put in 2 single crochet. And then we're just going to continue to single crochet around until we get to our next corner. So that center stitch of the next corner, you're going to put in 2 single crochet, and then you're going to continue to single crochet around until your third corner and put in 2 single crochet in that center stitch of your third, and you will keep going. So as you can see, I'm working my single crochet down. So here is that corner, second corner. So once we get to that center stitch, you're going to put in 2 single crochet, third corner, same thing, fourth corner, and then you'll keep single crocheting until you get to your last stitch. And then at your last stitch, we will join in our first stitch, and then our square will be complete, or block. Let's call it a block. It's not a total square. Has 4 even sides, and this definitely does not have 4 even sides. All right, so I'm going to keep going, finishing up my round 2, and I will meet you back. Okay, so I'm at my last stitch here for round 2. I'm going to pop out that stitch marker, work that last single crochet, and then I am going to join in my first stitch there. And then you'll want to cut your yarn. I need to find my scissors because I don't have them. But then your square will be complete. So of course you'll want to weave in any loose ends, and then if you need to block your square, certainly feel free to do that, and then you're all set. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.